What if I told you that female attraction has almost nothing to do with looks, money, or confidence, at least not in the way you think? What actually pulls a woman towards someone happens far below conscious thought. Carl Jung believed attraction is not a choice. It is an archetypal response triggered by something ancient, symbolic, and deeply unconscious. And once it's activated, logic disappears. Today, we re-uncovering the brutal psychology behind female attraction, not from dating advice, but from the mind that mapped the human soul. Carl Jung didn't study attraction to make people more attractive. He studied it to understand why desire so often feels irrational, painful, and uncontrollable. According to Jung, we don't fall in love with people. We fall in love with symbols. Behind every attraction lies an archetype, a psychological image buried in the unconscious mind. And unless you understand these archetypes, attraction will always feel random, unfair, and confusing. Let's break it down. Attraction feels personal, but according to Carl Jung, it almost never is. What we call desire is usually the unconscious recognizing something familiar, a symbol, a pattern, a memory that existed long before the person standing in front of us. This is why attraction often strikes instantly, without logic and without permission. The conscious mind arrives later, trying to justify what the unconscious has already decided. Jung believed that when a woman feels drawn to a man, she is rarely responding to who he actually is. She is responding to what he represents. This process is called projection. The unconscious mind projects inner qualities onto an external figure, turning a normal human being into a powerful psychological image. Strength, danger, emotional depth, authority, or even chaos, whatever is missing or suppressed internally becomes magnified in the other. This is why attraction can feel overwhelming, even obsessive. The person becomes larger than life because they are carrying unconscious material that does not belong to them. Central to this process is the animus, the unconscious masculine image within the female psyche. The animus is not created by choice. It forms through early experiences with men, emotional imprints, father dynamics, cultural myths, and unresolved wounds. Over time, this image becomes a silent template. When a man aligns with this template, attraction does not feel like interest. It feels like fate. Logic becomes irrelevant because the reaction is symbolic, not rational. This explains why attraction often defies common sense. Why someone emotionally unavailable can feel magnetic, while someone kind and stable feels invisible. The unconscious is not searching for safety. It is searching for completion. It wants to recover parts of the self that were split off, suppressed, or never developed. Attraction becomes a psychological shortcut toward wholeness even when it leads to suffering. Mystery plays a crucial role here. The unconscious thrives on what is unknown. When a man is fully explained, fully transparent, and emotionally predictable, there is little room for projection. But when something remains hidden, silence, restraint, emotional depth that is not constantly displayed, the imagination activates. The unconscious fills in the gaps, often exaggerating qualities that may not even exist. This is why distance can intensify attraction and overexposure can dissolve it. Desire needs space to breathe. Jung also emphasized the importance of the shadow, the part of the psyche that contains everything society teaches us to suppress: aggression, dominance, sexuality, ambition, vulnerability, and power often live in the shadow. Many men attempt to appear harmless, agreeable, and endlessly accommodating. But when the shadow is completely denied, something essential disappears. The person feels flat, lifeless, and psychologically invisible. Attraction does not respond to perfection. It responds to vitality. Men who acknowledge their shadow without being controlled by it appear grounded. There is a sense of contained intensity, not cruelty, not arrogance, but depth. This is often mistaken for confidence or charisma, but it is something more fundamental. It is the presence of a whole personality, light and dark, integrated. The unconscious recognizes this immediately, even if the conscious mind cannot explain why. This also explains why attraction often carries pain. When two people meet through projection, they are not meeting each other. They are meeting their own unconscious material reflected back at them. At first, this feels intoxicating, but over time, reality intrudes. The image cracks, the projection withdraws, and what remains is either a real connection or deep disappointment. Most relationships end at this stage because the original attraction was never about the other person at all. Jung warned that unresolved projections trap people in repetitive cycles, the same patterns, the same disappointments, the same emotional highs and crashes. Until the unconscious material is recognized and integrated, attraction continues to control rather than serve the individual. Desire becomes something that happens to you, not something you choose. The deeper purpose of attraction, according to Jung, is not romance. It is individuation, the process of becoming whole. Attraction exposes what is missing within us. It reveals the undeveloped parts of the psyche that demand attention. When someone understands this, attraction loses its power to dominate. It becomes informative rather than overwhelming. This is why the most psychologically attractive individuals are not those who chase desire, validation, or approval. They are those who have integrated their inner conflicts. They carry mystery without secrecy, strength without domination, emotion without chaos. They are not trying to be wanted, and that absence of need is precisely what the unconscious responds to. When attraction is no longer used as a substitute for inner development, it transforms. It becomes calmer, more grounded, more conscious. And in that state, desire no longer feels brutal. It feels aligned. Here's the uncomfortable truth Jung revealed. Attraction is not about becoming someone else. It's about understanding what you awaken in others. If you constantly chase attraction, you'll become a prisoner of projection. But if you integrate your shadow, develop depth, and live authentically, attraction becomes a side effect, not a goal. The most attractive individuals are not those who try to be desired. They are those who no longer need to be. And that's the psychology most people never talk about.